What's going on, everybody? Happy hump day. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. I cannot complain. Life is good, although the weather's kind of crappy out today. Um, it is what it is. We're still getting ready for this move. I'm making connections all over the place, meeting new people. It is a glorious time right now. But it's not what I'm here to talk about today. So, I had a amazing conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and it didn't have really anything to do with like life coaching, but it was a result of life coaching. So, for those of you who know my background, you guys know I went to school and did a master's degree in leadership, and that's like my thing. I love it. It helped me out when I was actually active duty. The whole topic itself is very interesting to me, and because of how I came up in the military and the awesome leaders that I had the privilege of working with, I was always trying to be a good leader. Whether I succeeded or not, who knows? I always feel like I did my best, and but that's what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about like running with teams, and that was part of the conversation that I had with my friend. And there's a couple of things that you have to have in place in order for teams to operate. And of course, this isn't the end all be all list. For those of you who are in the military right now or in a leadership position, you'll probably recognize this and be able to chime in later if you want to add to it, which I would love to hear thoughts and ideas. Because again, leadership is one of the things that I enjoy. It's a great topic. So the first thing that we talked about that you need to have a team that operates, um, let's say smooth, right, and all firing all cylinders, is a shared vision and belief in the mission. Now, when I say shared vision, folks think big corporate uh, visions and vision statements and mission statements, and I mean that does a thing, but it's it's more than that, right? It's when you're developing a vision statement and a mission statement. One, you got to know what these are. So, vision is where you want to go, where you're going to be, where you're going to end, right? And then, of course, the mission is how you're going to get there. And if you can bring your people to share your vision and get excited about it and believe in the mission to get there, your team is going to operate a lot smoother. One of the questions I always get is, well, how do I get them to buy into it? Well, honestly, you got to get them involved in the creation. Now, if you develop a company from the ground up and you have your vision, you love it, and you start hiring people, most likely they're going to do the research before they decide to apply. And they're going to know your vision, they're going to know your mission statement, and they're going to believe in it, which is why they're going to apply. You're going to have a handful that may not. And of course, you have the option to let those folks not be a part of your team. But if you are creating something with a team already and say you don't have a vision in place, get them involved. Change Management 101 says, and it's going to be a summary. If you are changing something that is going to affect an entire entity or a section or a team, you definitely want to include them on the change. Ask them for suggestions, opinions. Give them options. Not too many options, but give them options. Let them know that their opinion matters because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to be doing the most of the work, right? And if you can get them involved in the process, one, they're going to take ownership of everything they do, and in the company or organization that you're building. And then, of course, as you start developing the mission and everything, and they're involved, it's going to be a cohesive team that puts it together. All right, so keep that in mind. The second thing we talked about was clear expectations. Now, any leader in the military knows exactly what I'm talking about. One thing that I've always believed is if you don't tell your people what you need from them or where you need them, they're not going to deliver, or they're just going to do whatever they feel they need to do. And a lot of times it's not going to be in line with that vision or mission that you've come up with. So clear expectations at the front. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on that. This is clear expectations going both ways. All right. So when we sit down for like a feedback back in the day, it was I would tell the troop, all right, this is what I expect of you in all these areas. Go out and do it. And then as the leadership developed within the Air Force itself, they realized, well, if the leader doesn't know what to expect from the troop either, then it's not going to be a cohesive team. So then you had expectations, what the troop expected, what they expected from a leader. And most of the time it was just make sure, I have everything I need to operate. And there was a couple other things, family, life, everything, safety, health, and all that stuff is important. So expectations are huge when it comes to both leaders and followers. All right, you gotta be clear in your expectations. This goes back to my conversation or my post on communication. You don't want any of that to be ambiguous, right? If if at any point you think anything that you said wasn't clear, ask. Do you understand that? Um, and if it's not clear, hopefully they tell you it's not clear. And if you were a follower, if the expectations that you've just received aren't clear, you need to open your mouth and say something, because the last thing you want to do is say, yeah, I got it, and then you don't. So keep all that in mind. But I thought it was an interesting conversation, and it gave me a chance to revisit, you know, the stuff I started this whole business with, which is leadership and leadership development. And it was just a really awesome conversation. Now, I want to ask folks that are listening or chiming in, whether live or later on the various places I put this, what is it do you think you should also have when it comes to running in teams? Besides a vision and a mission statement, both shared and believed, and clear expectations, what else is there? I know there's plenty, and I've got my ideas on that, but I'd love to have some insight from folks, outside looking in. And as always, don't forget, if you guys are looking to become a part of a community that is there to help you achieve your impossible goals or make those goals seem a little less impossible, come check us out. The Relentless Ones. It's a great community. It's just now getting built, and I'd love to have everybody on there. Also, I'll be posting everything up on YouTube on a regular and linking everything to my personal page. From now on, I will be having affiliate links to anything that I review, i.e., the books. So if you enjoy the review, I urge you to buy the book, whether it's Audible or hard copy, paperback, whatever it may be. Excuse my stuttering today, but keep that in mind. Come check us out, the Relentless Ones. We'd love to have a bigger community of folks looking to build something huge. And with that, I'll leave you with this.